He heals the broken-hearted and binds up their wounds. Psalm 147:3. What if I told you that every wound in your heart has caught God's attention? What if every tear you've cried in private, every betrayal that shattered your trust, every loss that left you feeling empty, every rejection that made you question your worth, what if all of it has moved the heart of God to personally intervene as your healer? Think about the last time someone you loved broke your heart. Maybe it was a spouse who walked away, a friend who betrayed your confidence, a family member who chose addiction over relationship, or a dream that died when you needed it most. In that moment of devastating pain, you probably felt like your heart would never recover, like the wound was too deep to heal, like you'd never be able to trust or hope or love that deeply again. But here's what makes this verse absolutely life-changing. God doesn't just notice broken hearts from a distance and feel sorry for people who are hurting. He actively, intentionally, personally intervenes to heal what's been shattered and bind up what's been wounded. The word binds here is the same word used for what a skilled physician does when treating a serious injury. Careful, gentle, but thorough work to ensure complete healing. You might be thinking, but I've been broken for so long. I've tried to heal, tried to move on, tried to get over it, and the pain is still there. Here's what you need to understand. Emotional and spiritual wounds are different from physical ones. They don't heal through time alone, willpower alone, or even therapy alone. They heal through the supernatural touch of the God who created your heart and knows exactly how to restore it to wholeness. Maybe this morning you're carrying wounds that you've never told anyone about. Perhaps there are areas of brokenness in your heart that you've hidden so well that even people close to you don't know how much pain you're in. You might have convinced yourself that you're fine, that you've moved on, that it doesn't matter anymore. But deep down, you know that certain hurts still ache when they get touched. God sees it all. He knows about the betrayal that taught you not to trust. He knows about the loss that left a hole in your heart. He knows about the rejection that made you feel worthless. He knows about the trauma that changed how you see the world. And He's not content to leave you broken. He's committed to healing you completely. What you're about to experience in this prayer will open your heart to receive the healing touch of God and help you understand that no wound is too deep, no hurt is too old, and no heart is too broken for Him to restore completely. Father God, I come before you this morning with a heart that needs your healing touch. I confess that I've been carrying wounds that I've tried to heal on my own, pain that I've attempted to manage through my own strength, and brokenness that I've hoped would just go away with time. But I realize now that true healing comes from you, the one who created my heart and knows exactly how to restore it to wholeness. Lord, I acknowledge that I'm broken-hearted in ways that I don't always want to admit. Some of these wounds are obvious and fresh, while others are old scars that still ache when certain memories or situations touch them. Some of this brokenness came from people who should have loved me better, while other pain came from circumstances beyond anyone's control. But regardless of how these wounds were created, I believe you have the power to heal them completely. God, I thank you that you don't minimize my pain or tell me to just get over it. You don't compare my wounds to others' suffering or suggest that I should be stronger by now. Instead, you see my broken heart with compassion and move toward me with healing intention. You understand that emotional and spiritual wounds are real, that they impact every area of my life, and that they deserve the same careful attention that physical injuries receive. I ask you to heal the brokenness in my heart that came from betrayal, Father. The people who promised to love me but walked away when love required sacrifice. The friends who shared my secrets, the partners who chose others over me, the family members who chose their own comfort over my well-being. These betrayals taught me to protect my heart by not trusting fully, but I don't want to live that way anymore. Heal the wounds that make trust feel dangerous. Lord, I need you to bind up the wounds that came from loss and grief, the loved ones who died before I was ready to let them go, The relationships that ended when I thought they would last forever. The dreams that died when circumstances changed beyond my control. These losses left empty spaces in my heart that I've tried to fill with other things, but nothing has worked. Only you can heal the ache of missing what I'll never have again. I pray for healing from the rejection and abandonment that has shaped how I see myself, God. The parent who wasn't available emotionally, the spouse who chose to leave, the friends who excluded me, the opportunities that went to others instead of me. These experiences convinced me that maybe I'm not worth fighting for, not valuable enough to pursue, not special enough to choose. But I know that's not how you see me, and I need your healing to help me see myself through your eyes. Mighty God, I ask you to heal the wounds in my heart that came from abuse and trauma. Whether it was physical, emotional, sexual, or verbal abuse, these experiences left scars that go deeper than just the events themselves. They changed how I feel about my safety, my worth, my ability to trust my own perceptions. Some of these wounds are so deep that I've tried to forget they exist, but you know they're there, and you know exactly how to bring healing without forcing me to relive the pain. Father, I need healing from the disappointments that have made my heart cynical and guarded. The times when I hoped for something good and received something painful instead. The moments when I trusted that things would work out and they fell apart. The seasons when I believed you would intervene and circumstances got worse instead of better. These disappointments have made it hard for me to hope fully, dream boldly, or expect good things. Heal my capacity for faith and expectation. I pray for you to bind up the wounds that came from my own failures and mistakes, Lord. The guilt that comes from hurting people I loved, the shame that comes from falling short of my own values, the regret that comes from choices I can't undo. These self-inflicted wounds are sometimes the hardest to heal because I feel like I deserve the pain, but you offer forgiveness and restoration even for the damage I've caused to my own heart. God, I ask for healing from the rejection and criticism that has wounded my confidence and self-worth, the harsh words that were spoken over me, the comparisons that made me feel inferior, the judgments that made me feel condemned. These wounds have convinced me that I'm not good enough, smart enough, talented enough, or lovable enough. Heal the places where other people's opinions have taken root in my heart and poisoned my sense of identity. I need you to heal the loneliness and isolation that has convinced me that I'm meant to go through life alone, Father. Whether this came from physical abandonment, emotional unavailability from others, or simply feeling misunderstood and disconnected, this wound has made me believe that deep connection isn't possible for me. Heal my ability to be vulnerable, to trust, and to believe that authentic relationship is worth the risk of more pain. Lord, I pray for healing from the anxiety and fear that took root in my heart after traumatic experiences, the hypervigilance that came from needing to protect myself, the panic that comes from feeling unsafe, the constant worry that comes from expecting the worst. These emotional responses served a purpose during dangerous times, but now they're keeping me from experiencing peace and joy. Heal my nervous system and restore my sense of safety. Father, I declare that no wound in my heart is too deep for your healing power. No pain is too old for your restoration. No brokenness is too complex for your wisdom. No hurt is too shameful for your love. You are the God who specializes in making broken things beautiful, wounded things whole, and damaged things better than they were before. I trust your ability to heal me completely. I choose to cooperate with your healing process rather than resist it. I understand that healing sometimes requires me to feel pain before I feel relief, to acknowledge wounds before they can be bound up, to be honest about damage before restoration can occur. I won't try to rush your work or control your methods. I'll trust your gentle hands to heal me in the way and timing that's best for my restoration. Lord, I forgive the people who wounded my heart, not because they deserve forgiveness or because what they did was acceptable, but because I don't want to carry their poison in my heart anymore. I release them from the debt they owe me and trust you to handle justice in your own way. I choose freedom over bitterness, healing over revenge, peace over resentment. I also forgive myself for the ways I've wounded my own heart through poor choices, self-destructive behavior, and failure to protect myself when I should have. I receive your forgiveness for every mistake I've made and every person I've hurt along the way. I refuse to be both the victim and the perpetrator of my own emotional abuse. Your mercy is new every morning, and I receive it fresh today. God, I pray that as you heal my broken heart, you would use my restoration to bring healing to others who are hurting. Let my testimony of your healing power give hope to those who think their wounds are too deep to heal. Let my peace in areas where I used to have pain point others to you as the source of supernatural restoration. Let my wholeness encourage others to trust you with their brokenness. Thank you for being a God who doesn't just see broken hearts and feel sad about them, but who actively intervenes to heal them. Thank you for caring about my emotional health, my relational capacity, my ability to trust and hope and love. Thank you for not leaving me to figure out healing on my own, but personally involving yourself in my restoration. As I go into this day, I carry the confidence that comes from knowing my healing is in the hands of the one who never fails to restore what's been broken. I will not protect my wounds by avoiding relationships or opportunities for growth. I will not let past pain determine my future possibilities. I will live like someone who is being healed by the most skilled physician in the universe. My heart is broken, but it's not hopeless. My wounds are real, but they're not permanent. My pain is deep, but God's healing is deeper. Amen. Your broken heart has caught the attention of the great physician. Every wound you carry, every hurt you've hidden, every pain you've tried to heal on your own, God sees it all, and He's committed to healing you completely. No wound is too deep, no hurt is too old, and no heart is too broken for His supernatural restoration. If this prayer touched broken places in your heart, hit that like button and share this with someone who needs to know that healing is possible. Subscribe for daily prayers that will nurture your heart and strengthen your faith. Comment, "Heal my heart," below if you're trusting God to bind up the wounds in your heart right now. Remember, you don't have to carry broken pieces of your heart forever. The God who created your heart knows exactly how to heal it, and He's committed to making you whole again.